What would you say to the sisters who have abandoned themselves and want to pick themselves up again?
People don't understand the true value of having people around you, having sisters.
Sisterhood is such a weapon against depression,
I love
against
that.
anxiety.
This is it.
And these are the things that are running rife among us.
So sometimes we need to give people that love and that commitment so that they become awakened to the fact that, baby girl, you need to wake up and change.
Yeah, come on.
Not just for you, but for us.
Hi, sisters. It's me again. If you haven't seen my face, it's probably because you haven't watched our previous episodes. But the sisters are in the hot seat. Say hey.
Hello.
We have been delving deep into all things healing, not abandoning yourself, and abandoning perfection. On today's episode, we're going a little bit deeper. Deeper.
We went deep before.
Whoa.
Damn.
I just in the kiddie pool.
No, just the
Shallow.
iceberg, just the tip of the, just, watching.
We're here.
What would you say to the sisters who have abandoned themselves and want to pick themselves up again? Yeah.
Pick it up again.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Because it's so easy to say, get up, get up, get up,
Yeah.
get up out of that grave. But it's
Hey.
like when maybe you
Hey.
haven't, but perhaps they don't have the frameworks in place, or perhaps they don't have the community to support them. Like, I think it's easy to heal within a certain, it's simple to heal within a certain context, but there are certain contexts that make healing quite turbulent. And yeah, what would you advise to the sisters who are deeply want to heal? They want to meet the woman on the other side of healing. What would you equip them with?
Wow. That's a deep one.
That's a very serious question.
Yeah.
First of all, the first thing that came to mind for me is it starts with your yes.
Wow.
I think sometimes you put it quite perfectly that difficult things are simple.
Yeah.
Right? We have all of the slogans, we have all of the taglines.
Come
Just
on.
heal,
Yeah.
turn up,
Yeah.
abandon perfectionism. Let's get on to that journey. Let's get going. I think, as we've been speaking over the last few episodes, I love what you were saying around being compassionate as a mentor. But I think what this requires is compassion within yourself.
Come on.
You have to reactivate compassion for yourself. I think sometimes when we think of healing and we think of becoming a better person, we think of discipline or being the disciplinarian comes out of us, right? You haven't been meeting your goals, so naturally we want to punish ourselves. But punishment will just drive you further and further away from the woman that you want to be.
Come on.
When we think of, for example, our relationship with our parents, as much as discipline is necessary and punishment is necessary, it is often precluded with love. Or when we think of our relationship that we have with God, right, there is a reason why there is so much emphasis on God being love, because it means that we haven't quite gotten it yet, right? So it really is about showing yourself compassion first, really understanding what it means to love myself and give myself love, and identifying myself as being worthy and capable of love. So to the sisters that are listening that have abandoned themselves, the first thing I'm saying to you is it takes one yes, and saying yes to yourself and saying, I actually love me. I care about me, that I need to take care of me. And I love, not only do I love me, but I also love my past self.
Wow.
Because it's so easy for us. We focus so much on our future self, the future woman that I want to be.
Yeah, come on.
That not only do we abandon the woman that we are now, but we've abandoned and discarded our past self.
Come on.
If there's one thing that has been so pivotal to my own personal healing journey, it's loving past Renee.
Yes.
You know, when they say be the person that you needed when you were younger,
Yes,
I'm thinking of her. I'm thinking of 15-year-old Renee when she was out here, she was suffering from so much self-esteem issues. I'm thinking of Renee at 16, 17, who wasn't aware of her worth. I'm thinking of Renee even in her 20s that needed someone to say, babe, you're actually worth it.
Come on.
I'm thinking of Renee at 12 that was bullied and told, you're this, you're that, you're not pretty enough, you're not worthy, you're this. I'm thinking of that girl.
Do they need glasses?
Lies.
Girl,
Lies.
it's not even that do they need glasses. I needed glasses.
Wow.
I needed to be able to see.
Even physically.
Did I physically?
Sorry.
No, that's good. I definitely needed glasses. I was up there squinting like this. I can't see that. I can't see nothing. Maybe if I had glasses there, I would be able to see a bit more in here. But it is well, all in God's timing.
Yeah.
But abandoning, really showing compassion to yourself, but compassion to your past self.
Come on.
You did the best with what you had.
This is it.
And there was one thing that
Celebrate
we did
yourself.
on one of our past TMS experiences.
Yeah.
Just plug in the TMS experiences. If you haven't gone, you should go because it's actually life-changing.
Yeah, you need to be there.
You have to. And I believe it was in, I think, South Africa that we did the write a letter to your past self.
I love this.
And we all have the, I'm going to write a letter to my future self. Yeah, in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, I'm going to be this, that. I'm going to be worthy of love in 5 years' time. I'm going to be worthy of love in 10 years' time. Writing a letter to yourself.
Yeah.
Something that you needed to hear in your past self, right? Like, and in my letter saying, Renee, I love you. I started with, Renee, I actually love you. You were going through a lot and I see you, right? Seeing your past self, reckoning with your past self, understanding that your past self was the foundation you needed for your current self and will be the foundation and the place of testimony for your future self.
That is
reconciling the different selves of you across your life's timelines and forgiving yourself too. Because yes, we've made poor decisions, but it's okay. There's redemption.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the journey to healing, to make any meaningful progress, starts with forgiveness. Not just forgiveness to other people, but forgiving your past self. Go back. You, when you were 15, you needed to be forgiven. You, when you were 18, you needed to be forgiven.
Come on.
So give yourself the... Listen, every time we end these relationships, right? It's like, oh, I need closure. I need closure. All right? It's not about revisiting and returning to that place and staying there. It's about revisiting there and doing the things that you should have done back then.
Come on.
And closing that chapter. And closing that chapter doesn't look like beleaguering yourself or hammering yourself for what you did. It means going back and saying, babe, I got you now. I got you now. So if you're a sister listening and you've abandoned yourself, you need to go back.
Come on.
Go back and say, babe, I love you. I'm sorry. And even meditating on that. Who was I before? And even recognizing that you've even made progress since then too, right? Because we often think, oh, I've stayed stagnant in this place. No, you haven't. You've grown. The fact that you're even sitting here today, standing here and thinking, oh, wow, I want to do something with my life. The fact you're even listening to this podcast right now is proof that there's something on the inside of you that doesn't want to be abandoned. There's something on the inside of you that's still saying like, oh, there is still worth on there's something still drawing me out, calling me out to do something that's worthwhile.
Amazing.
So first of all, well done.
Yeah.
You are loved.
We love you, sis.
We love you. And we love the past you. We love all versions of you. It is not contingent on you being healed for you to be loved. You are loved first before you're healed.
Jesus.
So go back and say to yourself, I love you. I care about you. And it's from that place of love, picking yourself back up, that you can make any meaningful progress to the future. But it starts from a place of compassion. Love yourself. Have a revelation of that love. Forgive yourself. You did the best with what you had at the time. And now you can do better.
Come on.
So
Ladies,
that was hot.
The OG lover girl, Miss Renee.
Kapuku. That was good. And to be fair, there's nothing I can add to that because that's it. You have to go and recognize that your past self is worth saving. She's worth trying again. It's working on that self-worth, even towards your past self. So that was excellent. I'm sure somebody got what they needed from that, Renee. Somebody got what they needed from that, 100%. So I think the only thing I can add is then on the flip side, because there are some women who, even when they look at their past, there's so much hatred and disconnection from that person and what they've been through that it's like, I don't even want to look at her face. I don't want to imagine who I was when I was 15. I get the ick. I hate her. But also there are, especially as women, there are some deep traumas we can experience in our life that makes you dissociate from that person. I left that person there because if she was still attached to me, I wouldn't live.
Speak on it.
Do you get what I would
CDB,
not live? Like,
speak on it.
If I really resonate with her, I don't want to go back there. She died there, and we're leaving her dead. Do you get what I mean? To that person, I wouldn't even speak to them. I would speak to their friends because, and I would want them to listen, because if there is a woman around you who you're like, oh, she never changes, she's always complaining about this, why doesn't she just make the move that she needs to make? Why doesn't she just do the thing she needs to do? It's probably because she has abandoned herself, and the only thing that will remind her not to abandon herself is if you don't abandon her. You need to remind her of her worth. And it takes, and this is why the journey of sisterhood and friendship is so important, because sometimes when you cannot show your self nurture, your friends will show you the nurture you need. Your friends are the ones who will remind you,
good.
Renee or Courtney, you
Yeah.
are worth loving.
Come
And whether you keep
on.
projecting my love or not, I'm going to keep showing up because I want my love to so overflow that you start to love yourself. I need you to stop thinking I don't deserve love and start realizing that because I keep showing up for you and I'm not going to give up on you. And no matter how much you push me away, no matter how much you don't respond to my messages, no matter your bad behavior, God has brought me into this ministry of being your sister. So you actually cannot get rid of me until I choose to say no to this assignment. You cannot get rid of me. And this is why sometimes we need to talk about sisterhood. And real rap, if you have not read our book, you have to.
Literally.
Because sisterhood sometimes is not just about friendship. I met this person, we get on, I like them. A lot of times, sisterhood is a position assigned to you by God, and God sending you on an assignment. And oftentimes, He's sending you on that assignment to people who have given up on themselves. And so He needs a sister to remind them, I'm not going to give up on you.
Come on now.
Do you get what I mean? And so it's not even about, oh, she pissed me off and now I'm not going to be her friend anymore. Sister, you are there on an assignment, and your assignment is to remind this woman, no matter how much you push me away and no matter how much you've given up on yourself, I'm not going to give up on you. And my hope is that you'll begin to question, why do I keep pushing this person away and they're not giving up on me? And it will remind you that you are worth continuing to love. And hopefully you will then begin to show that to yourself, that actually, despite your bad behavior, I have some friends around me, your behavior is bad. Your behavior is so bad. But when I think about my own journey, and I remember doing a speaking engagement and I talked about my mum one day, and I said, there is a phase in my life where I look back and I think, any mother would have thrown me away. Any mother would have said, get out of this place. Go away. Like, you're a headache. You're a nuisance to society. Get out of here. And a lot of people see me now and they can never imagine that. But that woman saw the real me. Do you know what I mean? She saw the parts of myself which I was like, I don't care about personal growth. I don't care about personal growth.
What is that?
We can all die in this list.
She said,
if I'm going down, I'll come down with me.
Literally. But she saw all of that and she still continued to love me. Was it perfect? No. But she still continued to love me to the point where I sat down one and I thought, this woman doesn't deserve this. This woman doesn't deserve my bad behavior. And so I started to realize that even my acceptance of myself wasn't even motivated by me. It was motivated by her. She deserves better than this.
Come on.
Even with friendship as well. My friend actually deserves better than this. The way they've sacrificed to do this, despite the fact that I don't show up, despite the fact that sometimes I can be mean, despite the fact that sometimes I can have my bad mood swings, they still show up for me so consistently that I've now come to my senses to realize they don't deserve this. I need to change. And so that then probes you to work on yourself. No, and that then probes you to work on yourself. And that's why the ministry of sisterhood is so important, because what you're doing is reviving something in somebody that has died a long time ago. So sometimes we need to give people that love and that commitment so that they become awakened to the fact that, baby girl, you need to wake up and change.
Yeah, come on.
Not just for you, but for us. But for us, and once the season ends. But I'm so thankful for, like, even my friendship with Renee. I can tell you guys, sometimes my attitude can be foul, especially my attitude can be foul sometimes. Facts. My attitude can be foul sometimes because, like, with PCOS, you can get really bad mood swings, you can get really fatigued. And so I remember, like, trying to navigate through my diagnosis, I would even in myself be like, around my like period when it was really bad, I would get extremely, because of hormonal imbalance, and we need to have more conversations for that for women, I would get severely depressed, like severely depressed, severely anxious, and to some like degree at the beginning stages, I would feel suicidal just because of a period, because of a menses,
small menses,
menstrual cycle,
mini menses.
You can't just come and go in 5 days. You got to try and kill me.
To this day, I said it should be an email. To this day, it should be an email. I just want to ping, you're not pregnant. Okay, let's go.
100%. But all of that was happening to me. And obviously you can imagine if that's happening to you as a person, you're not even thinking about how you're treating other people. You're trying to stay alive.
Literally.
You're just trying to stay alive. You're fighting all of these thoughts that are going through your mind, sorry. And I know there are a lot of women, even postpartum, they go through that because of hormonal imbalance, right? And if it wasn't for my friend being like, I hate you right now, but I love you deep down, and not giving up on me in those phases, I wouldn't have come to a place where, one, I'm like, Courtney, this affecting your friendship. And it's a friendship with someone you so deeply care about, a friendship with someone who has so committed themselves to you and your growth and to loving you. Do you not think maybe you should change? Do you not think maybe you should address, and it's funny, but really and truly, it's like, do you not think maybe you should address what's at the root of these extreme mood swings? Because you're going to lose someone who really matters to you. And then that brings you to a new development of, okay, now I need to get to know myself better. And I can't just settle at this being my daily or monthly experience. I actually have to trust that my life can be different from this. So whilst this thing is afflicting me, there is a new motivation for my healing. And it's not just me, it's also my sister. So I think that's a dimension of sisterhood that we also need to unlock, because the self-awareness and the self-control sometimes doesn't come till someone's holding a mirror up to you.
Oh man.
You know? That's what I wanted to add to
that. Was so,
take that and do what you
so
want with it.
beautiful.
Fire emoji is giving. Drop the
literally drop 10 fire emojis in the comments right now. If you're watching on YouTube,
drop GBP.
drop the flaming heart emoji, because it was love, but it was fiery. It was giving.
Leave the emojis. We need money.
Okay, Cash App in the description.
Cash App. Donate to our building. We are builders.
Yeah, we're actually building.
They're building a school.
Yeah.
And I just want to use that point to segue into their book, guys. These women have written a book about sisterhood.
It's even here. You can get the paperback.
If your favorite color is blue, yeah, they got that. If it's pink, they got that too.
To be honest, we don't care what your favorite color is.
Just buy the book. Buy the damn book. Let's understand this. So your product placement. This is our channel.
Oh my God.
This one that we said we're not the host today. We are the guest. Here's our book.
Honestly, guys, you need to read this book on sisterhood. Sisterhood is such a weapon against depression, against anxiety.
This is it.
And these are the things that are running rife among us. Division is not your destiny.
Hello. Division is not your destiny.
Division is not your destiny.
I felt
that.
Division is not your destiny. You need your sisters. All this, me, my kids, leave it at the door.
Maybe
okay?
Not leave them at the door.
No,
Maybe
you need them.
As
but
in,
you need sisters around.
You need sisters too, you know?
And I love that you said that, actually, because it's something that we've been saying a lot in 2024.
Come on.
Sisterhood is a weapon.
Even
as we were talking about healing, and it's like sisterhood and your friendships is a tool in your toolkit or a bar in your framework. Sisterhood is a weapon of warfare.
Come on.
When you are going through a lot and it feels like I'm losing my mind, I'm losing my hope, I'm
losing
everything, I'm losing my money, I'm losing my man, I'm losing everything.
Just everything.
I'm losing the thing that you're going to, literally just everything. The thing that you're going to run to is your friends. The thing that you're going to run to is the people who are around you. And God help you if you don't have wise counsel around you. The Bible talks about how blessed is the person who does not sit in the company of the wicked.
There you go.
Who does not sit in the company of the scornful.
Come on.
So what happens if you are in the company of the wicked? You ain't blessed, honey. You are cursed.
Hey.
And that's the thing. When you look at sisterhood, you think to yourself, in my time of need, this is the person who's going to be holding me up.
So good.
Woe to me if this person is not strong. Woe to you if, when you are down bad, the people who you're meant to call on, the people who are meant to pray for you, the people who are meant to advise you are wicked and scornful. Really and truly, woe to you. Because what you're going to have is your friends will be laughing at you.
Truly.
And that's how you know your friends are really your enemies. Right? But when you have real sisters, you have people who are on your side. You have people who are waging war with you. And that battle axe that is sisterhood is, I'm not just coming, it's something that Diane Briney said about her mother, but also the women in her life. I'm not just coming into the room with me. I'm coming with my sisters. I'm coming backed by women who have my, if someone jumps me right now, I have 5 people I can call who would jump you right back. But we won't.
Because the weapons of our warfare are not.
There we go. But we love the Lord. But I know I have that backing. Do you get what I mean? I know that behind me is not just God, but also in the physical, I can look around and know I am not alone.
Come on.
I actually have a sister in my time of need.
Come on.
I have a sister in my time of need. And a lot of us think we have friends because we have people we go to brunch with. But your friends aren't there in your time of need. When the funds aren't there for brunch, who are your friends? Who's coming to your house and being like, here's some toast.
Yeah.
I also don't have money. But if we divide this toast between us and we go and buy one strawberry at Sainsbury's, we can have a good time.
Listen,
We can have a good time.
listen. When I say I love, because also sisterhood is a weapon against brokenness.
Wow.
Big facts.
It is
If you
a
don't have
weapon.
money, you need your sister's boy.
Let me tell you something.
Wow.
The way that my
Wow.
finances have been blessed by having sisters.
Wow.
Because people are often waiting, I'm going to wait hypergamy, I'm going to marry out. I'm going to find my man.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. There is something about community-powered finances.
Oh.
There is something about agreeing with your sister as it pertains to your finances. Obviously in other areas as well. But I was just thinking about that. We both came broke.
Yes.
Broke. Brokety broke.
Yeah.
Right? And actually having somebody that not only has that experience, but also wants to agree with you to do better.
Yes.
Right?
Come
like
on.
that joint accountability.
Yes.
To put something in our accounts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
making money together, because I think that's something even as women we can shy away from.
Yeah.
Right? Money. And obviously we've had some incredible people that have featured on this podcast talking about money and talking about obviously money from a romantic lens, but also money and making money with friends. I think what's also been so beautiful about TMS working with Courtney on multiple occasions is the fact that we can testify to how coming together has blessed us in that area too. And it means that we can do more as well.
Yeah. Can we unpack that?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you can back that 100%. The offering basket, as we said.
Can
Or
we
one of
unpack
the obvious ways that you can support us in the work that we do is buying our book. We've already over-indexed on that. Actually, there's no such thing as
buy the book, buy the book, buy the book.
But really standing with your sister, right? Like when we think of an army, the strength is in the numbers.
Come on.
And there is something about having numbers, right? Having people around you, standing with you, fighting beside you. An army that you are facing looks intimidating when you look beside you and there's nobody there.
Wow.
But if you look behind you, it makes me think of that, you know, in Avengers, right? Like Endgame.
Yeah.
We're coming up to not even Endgame, Infinity War and Endgame. There were so many scenes where, you know, Thanos is coming, you know, the enemy troops, they're coming.
Yeah.
But there was just something so powerful about the Avengers lining up together.
Exactly.
And then also having the army behind them to fight for the universe.
Come on.
We're in a fight, guys.
Facts.
Whether you like it or not, everybody is fighting something.
Come on.
You are fighting institutions. You are fighting systems. You are fighting cultures. You are fighting principalities.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
And there is something about being able to say, I'm gathering with this person.
Come on.
I am holding hands with this person.
Yeah.
I am interceding for that person.
Solidarity.
But I'm interceding with this person.
Come on.
Because I know that there is power in the covenant, not just with me and God, but with me and God.
Yeah.
There is God in our covenant. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there's something so powerful about fighting with somebody.
Exactly.
It means that I have blind spots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I think I am, you know, I'm driving a car, so it's check your blind spot, right? But we won't always have the capacity to check our blind spot, especially when we're in the moment, when we're in the midst or in the heat of something. Having somebody to check your blind spot, that means you can never be defeated.
Yeah.
Like, I wish, like, people don't understand the true value of having people around you, having sisters. Checking your blind spot, actually having someone to cover you
and having your back.
Having your back. Because I don't know about you. Some of you chakras and all them things that you have your third eye or whatnot. Me, I don't have that. Okay?
We don't do that.
I don't have that.
We don't.
But there are
play that.
Listen, there have been some times where, you know, Courtney is like, I've seen something for you. Or like there's some intuition that I have for you. Or there's, you know, some guidance. Like when we're talking about wise counsel, it's somebody that knows you and somebody that sees you, but also sees stuff for you.
Come
so even when you are, listen, sometimes we are not in our right mind when we're making decisions.
Hyde. It's giving Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde. Listen, sometimes we are not in our right mind when it comes to making decisions.
Yeah.
Even in our puffed up selves, even with all of our experiences and all that kind of stuff. There'll be times where Courtney will look at me and be like, babe, I love you.
But this?
I love you. This is a bit
off-brand.
Not only does this not represent you, it doesn't represent us.
Wow.
Okay, do you get what I'm saying? Like this in our sisterhood, the way that you're behaving or the things that you're trying to decide for yourself, babe, I don't think you should go there. It's bad.
Right.
It's bad. There's a mine there. It's minefield. If you step on that, you're going to blow up.
Come on.
But then also being more conscientious, because you know that if you do make a mistake or you do step on that minefield, you risk the blowback will now come on the other people as well.
Wow.
There's so many people on the line.
Yeah.
So even the way that you
on.
behave changes, the way that you go out into the world changes. And I know that people notice it between like myself and Courtney.
Yeah.
I'm not just representing myself, I'm representing my sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go
Yeah.
into rooms. And then lastly, well, it's so tangential, but also making sure that you open doors for other people as well.
Come on,
Some of
Renee.
my biggest blessings have come because Courtney has made an introduction here or there, or you know, I've been able to interact with people. I've even been able to make money because Courtney has my name in her mouth.
Oh my
Do you know what I'm saying? But too many of us, we're thinking of networking, we're thinking of business, we're thinking of ourselves, selves, not realizing that that there are certain doors that you will come across that won't open for you, but they will open for your sister. And in fact, it was you that was supposed to open the door for your sister.
And that's why you went ahead.
Bro, and sometimes that door will remain shut in both of your lines because you were selfish and you didn't realize that the path that needed to be walked there was needed to be led by your sister.
Not by you.
And too many of us, we are so fixated with being on the front. I am very happy to be led, especially when I know that it's meant to be my sister that goes before me. Because I can trust her as well. That's my sis.
Yeah.
So there'll be sometimes I go ahead, and there'll be sometimes I see this door, I say, it's better for both of us if Courtney goes first. Yeah.
Facts.
That was so beautiful,
facts.
sisters.
And I was gonna say, like, last thing, if you read our book, you'll read, like, in one of the opening chapters, we talk about becoming the best version of yourself and how I love that you brought up the Avengers analogy, because we are MCU heads, fans, anything Marvel, we're there. And there was something that I was writing about how the Hulk doesn't covet Thor's hammer, right? Thor has his strength. I have my strength. And there's something about knowing yourself and admiring what God has put in you and not allowing yourself to compare yourself or be jealous to what somebody else has, because it allows you to bring yourself to the front line and do what you need to do. If I spend all of my time trying to wield Thor's hammer, it's going to be a waste of my strength. Really? So let me actually take my strength to the front line and be content with it, so that I can use it and direct it in the right direction. And I think a lot of us get into this comparison and competition mode when actually you're called to be on the front line. Yes, they are different to you, but your strengths are also needed on that front line, and so are theirs. Because where you can't go, they can go. And I think you need to embrace that within sisterhood, but it doesn't happen if you don't discover your own strengths first. Because if you don't discover your own strengths, you think you're standing on the battlefield and you're just useless. Yeah. Right? You're just useless. Like, really and truly, what is Tony Stark's power? He doesn't have one. He has money. Yeah. That's cash. I can build this machine. I have cash. Dollar. Do you get what I mean? I have money. So I bring that to the table. I'm not coveting what everybody else has. I know what I bring, and I'm happy to give it.
Real rap.
I'm happy to give it. So I think as sisters, we also need to be happy with that. Be happy with the uniqueness and the difference.
Fantastic.
So read our book.
Fantastic. Sisters, well, we hope that you enjoyed this little series, this little mini-series that we were doing. Answering the questions, being in the hot seat, answering our fantastic and wonderful little sister, the official TMS little sister, Emmanuella. Shout out to her. We love her so much. And it was actually so beautiful to be in the hot seat. Like, I really enjoyed that.
That was good. I think it brought out some good stuff from us. So hopefully it was helpful.
Hopefully it was helpful.
But if you want to see more episodes like this, let us know. They can be a little bit longer, a bit shorter, whatever. It's kind of giving TMS Plus. If you are an OG follower, you know what TMS Plus is. But if you're not, then you won't know. But if you would like for us to bring that kind of vibe back and just replicate this a little bit, let us know. We can bring on Emmanuella or maybe some other girls in the sisterhood.
Yeah, some of our little sisters that are here in the community.
Or even big sisters, or just sisters, peers, as they say. We can bring you guys onto the pod to do this again. We have been plugging our book heavy, but honestly, obviously we wrote it, but it's one of the best books out there. Truly. I can back it. Truly. It's really, really good, and you should definitely read it if you want to know more about friendship, your personal development journey and healing. We go a lot into trauma and all of those things. And if you've been touched by some of the things that we've been saying, why not come to one of our in-person events? We have some coming up in London. We have some coming up in South Africa. And so head to the description so that you can meet us in person and these conversations can go deeper.
Absolutely love that. And of course, follow us on all of our social media at To My Sisterhood, literally everywhere, to stay plugged into all things TMS community related. And of course, come and follow my lovely sister at CD Boateng, and follow me at Renee Kapuku.
We'd love to see it. Sign up to the mailing list as well on our website, tomysisters.com, but we'll stop bombarding you there. You go off and have an amazing week. And as always, keep glowing and growing.